This right here is the brand new DJI Lito 1, DJI's latest addition to their entry-level budget drone market. Similar to the DJI Neo, this drone is perfect for if you're just getting into the world of drones, you haven't yet flown before, but you want something that gives you a lot of features at an affordable price point. And this is exactly what the DJI Lito 1 is. If you're watching this video going, why should I be listening to this guy? Well, my name's Ben. I've been flying drones for over 7 years now, both professionally and for fun. And I remember when I started out in the world of drones, the options we had in the market were certainly not as feature-packed and affordable as we have now with the likes of this DJI Lito. When I started out with the DJI Mavic Pro, which cost me around £700 to buy at the time. And whilst it was a great drone at the time, it was big, it required a license to be flown, and didn't have half the features as what we have now in the likes of this DJI Lito. Now you're probably looking at this drone thinking it looks very similar to the DJI Mini series, and you're probably wondering, well, how does this compare? And this DJI Lito is designed to replace the former Mini 4K and Mini 3. This drone could shoot 4K video at up to 100 frames per second, which is incredibly impressive for a drone of this price point. Not to mention it weighs less than 250 grams, so if you're in the UK, you do not need a license to fly this drone, and it is in the lowest category of restrictions, holding both an EU C0 class mark and a UK 0 class certification, meaning that this can be flown with the absolute minimal of restrictions, similar to the DJI Mini series. You also get omnidirectional obstacle avoidance sensors, ActiveTrack, Quickshots, and Mastershots that allow you to get incredibly high quality cinematic shots with very little effort whatsoever. So you do not need to do a masterclass on how to fly drones to get high quality cinematic shots from this thing. And that is probably its biggest advantage along with the price point. So let's take a look at what you get in the box. And as you can see, this is the drone itself. Firstly, you'll notice is it's obviously incredibly light. This drone weighs only 249 grams, similar to the Mini series, and adopts the typical DJI fold-out arm design. As you can see, this is the drone itself. We have our Lito 1 branding on the side, and then we have our battery underneath. To eject the battery, simply just pull these two little tabs in and pull back, and then that is our little intelligent flight battery, as you can see here, which is said to give us around 30 minutes of flight time. This is the two battery combo I've got here, so I have our second battery, as you can see in the box here. And in the box we have our controller. Now this is the DJI RC N3, so this pairs to your phones. Basically what you do is you extend the controller out like this here. So in my case I'm using an iPhone 17, so I'll be running that on here. The two control sticks of the controller are on the bottom here, and they simply screw on like so. Very easy to use. Simply slot your phone into place like so. Then you're able to control the drone using your phone screen for the monitor. So I've got the drone here down at the coast, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to get cinematic shots with this thing, even if you're a complete beginner to drones. So that's us ready to go. Let's get the drone up into the air and see what shots we can get. So first thing I'm going to do is show you the best settings to get the highest quality video out of this drone. So first thing we want to do is go down into the bottom right, and we want to make sure that we're in 4K at 25 frames per second. You can either go over 25 or 30 frames per second, depending on whether you're in the UK or in Europe. It doesn't really matter. You don't want to record in 50 or 60 frames per second unless you intend to slow the footage down. And so if you're just doing big wide landscape shots like this, you want to keep it in 25 frames per second. And the next thing you want to go to is the EV, and you want to drag that to minus 0.3. And essentially what this setting does is tell the drone's camera to basically keep the shot slightly darker so we don't blow out the sky and have a white sky. You obviously want to retain that lovely blue sky as we got behind us here. So once that's done, that is us ready to go. So one of the first shots you can do super easily if you want to reveal a location is literally just go straight up. All you do is take the left stick and go up really slowly. As long as you have a nice subject like we do behind us here, going up really slowly makes for a lovely reveal shot as you go higher and higher and eventually reveal your subject, as we're doing with the bay in behind us here. That's one easy angle. A second angle you can do very easily is going left to right. And so to do that, all we do is push our right stick over to the right to start moving the drone to the right. And then we want to take our left stick and move it ever so slightly to the left in the opposite direction. And then as you can see, what this does here is create a lovely parallax movement, as you can see here, where we have different layers of the background are basically moving different speeds, and it creates this beautiful parallax effect, as you can see here, with the island in the background moving slightly slower than the foreground, as you can see here. This always makes for a lovely shot. Another extremely easy shot to do is literally just to fly straight forward in one direction. What you want to do is frame up a nice subject. For example, in this shot here, you can see I've put this little cottage in the center of the frame, and all I'm going to do is literally push the drone straight forward towards the cottage. And as you can see, as I hold this shot forward, pushing the drone in, you get a very simple but beautiful shot. Likewise, another extremely easy one is to do the exact same thing but fly backwards. So all you do is literally hold the stick backwards, as you can see here, and the further you go back, the more you will then reveal your subject. And this kind of creates a very cool reveal effect. As you go further back, you start to reveal more context of where you are. And again, this is really easy to do. All you have to do is literally pull the drone back, and the further you go back, the more you'll reveal your subject and the more you'll bring into your shot. Now you can see here when we turn the back left dial on the controller down the way, this allows us to tilt the camera of the drone down. So basically what we're going to do is fly the drone forward whilst tilting the camera up and revealing our subject. As you can see, I've pointed the gimbal towards the ground here. I'm going to start recording. All I'm going to start doing is flying forward, as you can see, pushing our right stick forward. And then I'm simply going to start raising the camera, as you can see here, very slowly as we start to get up towards our subject. And this is always a beautiful reveal shot. I've been doing this one for years. A couple of my mates used to say this was my signature shot. As you can see here, as I start to get closer and closer towards the subject and reveal the coast, it looks beautiful. Super easy to do. Now this shot does take a bit of practice in terms of nailing the smoothness of the gimbal. Basically what you don't want to do is release the gimbal suddenly and then have a jerk movement when it ends. What you want to try and do is just edge it off very slightly as you get towards the top, and then that will make for a lovely smooth reveal shot. Now this next one we're going to do is basically the exact same thing, only this is a backwards reveal. And this is actually one I don't see a lot of people doing, and I think it's quite a cool shot. So what you want to do is basically tilt the gimbal the opposite way up towards the sky, as you can see here. And then what we're going to do is then fly the drone backwards. And the further we go back, we're then going to start tilting the gimbal down and basically do a reveal but backwards, starting from the sky looking down. And as you can see, this makes for also a lovely shot as you start to come back down towards ground level and reveal your subject, as you can see here. As you can see here, this right here is another example of a reveal, basically tilting up slowly. And you can see once you have a bit of a subject with you, like these waves here in the foreground, it makes the shot much more interesting as you've got way more action going on in your foreground as you're also revealing your subject simultaneously. So again, very cool. So our final shot we're going to do is what's known as a top down. So what we're going to do on the controller is just hit the FN function button, and doing this will tilt the camera right the way down to the ground. And as you can see, it gives us this lovely top down aerial perspective. And again, the super cool thing with a shot like this is all you need to do is fly forward or backwards and basically capture the ground beneath you. And as you can see, this is a super easy shot, especially when you got a nice subject like these waves directly beneath us here. And a final bonus shot you can do is what's known as a twist. So for this shot, literally all you have to do is go straight up with the left stick, as you can see here. And whilst you're going up, you want to turn the stick ever so slightly to the left or right. And as you see, it will create this lovely twisting motion here whilst we're going up, revealing our subject beneath us. Just adding that little bit of a twist makes our shot a little bit more interesting. And the trick with this shot is the slower you do the turn, the better. Now the final thing I'm going to show you is just how to do a slow-mo shot with the drone. So this drone does have the ability to shoot 4K at up to 100 frames per second. So it means you can slow the footage right down to 20% and get these incredible ultra slow-mo shots. So all you want to do to access that is go into the video settings page, as you can see here, and go down to slow motion. And that's going to put our frame rate right up to 100 frames. And then all you want to do is then start recording and then find a subject that looks good for slow-mo. So you obviously don't want to use these kind of shots when you're doing wide landscape shots. These obviously work much better when you're flying over things like waves, as you can see here, because you're then able to slow them down and see all the water droplets in super slow motion, which is dead cool. As you can see, I've been in the air for just over 30 minutes now. The drone is hovering behind us and it is a fairly windy day. I actually can't feel the cold, yet the drone has been in the air for over half an hour. So an incredibly good flight time with this drone. Right, so we're now going to send the drone up to do some master shots. This is basically where the drone is going to do a load of shots itself automatically and then stitch them together into a little sequence. And we're also going to check out quick shots, which is basically where the drone will do the shots for you. So all you need to do is stand there and let the drone do all the work. Now this is also simultaneously going to be a bit of a wind test because we're up here at the top of this cliff and we're dealing with winds probably around 15 to 20 mile an hour. So I've just sent it up into the air, as you can see here, and seemingly so far she is unfazed by the wind. There's literally gusts of 20 mile an hour right now, and this thing is coping no problem whatsoever. So we're now going to showcase how to do what's known as a master shot. So as you can see, what I'm going to do here is drag a box around my subject, which as you can see here is this signal tower. And then I'm going to pick the duration of master shot I want to do. So in this case, I'm going to go with a 1 minute and 30 medium length one. The drone is then going to automatically scan the surrounding area, which is very clever, to calculate its distance to the subject, as you can see here. I've just sped this part up just for the sake of the video. But as you can see, the drone will then complete a series of automatic shots. As you can see here, we've got this first one, which is the droney, where it will fly backwards into the air, and then move on to its second one, which is a circle tilt down shot, which as you can see looks very cool here. The drone will then automatically tilt the camera down and start doing a tilt up reveal that we did earlier in the video, and as you can see, it's able to do it very well itself, which is pretty cool. It then positions itself for the fourth shot, which is a circular shot with a bit of digital zoom, as you can see here, which is also quite cool. Now, you are losing quality, of course, when this drone does go into this digital zoom, but it still makes for a pretty cool shot, and the quality is more than acceptable for social media. As you can see here, that looks pretty cool. We then move on to probably one of my favorite ones, which is the rocket, where the drone flies right up into the air and tilts down the way before lining up for its sixth shot, which, as you can see, is a very well-timed tilt down twist, which we did earlier in the video. And as you can see, the drone is also able to do that fully autonomously here, and it does it very well before lining up for actually probably my favorite shot, which is the backwards drone, basically a tilt back as the drone flies back and reveals what is in your foreground, which in my case looks pretty unbelievable with the sea and the mountains there in the distance. And as you can see, we then move on to our final shot, which is a very, very clever subject-centered sort of revolution shot. The drone will keep the subject in the center of the frame whilst doing a revolution, as you can see here, which is incredibly hard to do manually. The fact that the drone is able to do that autonomously is incredibly impressive for something that costs only £299. That is absolutely unbelievable. As you can see, after all that there, the drone then returns to its home point fully autonomously with zero stick input from me during that entire sequence. So Quickshots allow you to do the individual shots that make up Mastershots, for example the drone, rocket, circle and helix. And Quickshots allow you to adjust parameters for these individual shots, such as distance. Okay, so we're now going to take a look at ActiveTrack. Now, this is where you can basically drag a box around an object and track it. Now, I'm going to be showing you how to do it with a car here. So basically what you want to do is just drag a box around the car. And as you can see on screen, we're then able to pick which side of the car we want to track from, which is very cool. So you can pick the front, back, left or right. And basically as you drive along, the drone will then follow from that set position. So as you can see, as we move to the right-hand side from the back, the drone will then follow round to the right and continue tracking it all in one motion and basically make a smooth shot out of it, which is very cool. Now, tracking works best when the car isn't going too fast, so you probably want to keep it around 20 to 30 mile an hour max. But as you can see, this is an incredibly cool feature for a £299 drone. The ability for this thing to track a car autonomously whilst avoiding obstacles is incredibly impressive, and this is a very cool feature. And finally, in terms of photos, this drone has the ability to shoot 8K raw photos at up to 48 megapixels, which allows for incredibly detailed still photos that you can either edit yourself in your photo editing software of choice, or you can literally use the pre-edited JPEG photos, which as you can see are incredibly high quality as well. The colors are really well balanced, and you can see with these stills here, which I've done no work to, they look pretty good for being out of camera with no editing. And last but not least, this drone also has the ability to shoot hyperlapses, which is basically a moving time lapse. And as you can see, this is an incredibly cool feature where the drone will take a series of stills over a set duration whilst moving in a particular direction. The drone also has several different hyperlapse movements in terms of which way you want the drone to move whilst performing the hyperlapse. And as you can see, this makes for a very cool shot. So the big question of should you buy this thing? Well, if you're somebody who already owns another DJI drone, the likes of a DJI Mini 4, Mini 5, or any one of the Mavic series, then this is obviously not going to be the drone for you. This drone is 100% targeted towards people who have not yet bought one. And as I said earlier, when I started out in the world of drones, the drones we were using back then didn't come with even a tenth of the features that this thing has. Never mind being at the incredible price point of this thing. So if you want to get into the world of drones without breaking the bank, the DJI Lito 1 is 100% the way to go. And I hope you can see from this video that you do not need to spend a lot of money on a drone to get high quality shots. Overall, as someone who owns a DJI Mavic 4 Pro, Mini 5 Pro, and basically every DJI drone that's been released up until now, I actually am very impressed by the quality of this thing. Again, if you told me 8 years ago we would get 4K at 100 frames per second in a drone that weighs less than 250 grams and costs what this thing costs, I would absolutely not have believed it. So DJI really are changing the game in terms of the amount of quality features and tech they're able to get into something so small and so affordable. So if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment down below to let me know what you think of the Lito 1. If you're a drone beginner, drop me any questions you have whatsoever on this thing, and I'll be sure to answer each and every one of you. And if you want to see more drones, FPV, and plane content, be sure to subscribe so you can stay notified for the next upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.